The objective of this honor is to acknowledge extraordinary individual efforts by one particular NMA member and recognize someone who has gone above and beyond to advance the purpose of and the image of NMA, its chapter, and its council. What can I tell you about Victor Koman that can't be found in any number of police reports? He was born in Eisenhower era, and he grew up in the space age, which can explain why he's usually described as a space cadet lost in the ozone. He grew up in Mountain View, California, under the glide path of Moffett Field, where he occasionally cracked a sonic boom and would rattle the windows of his home as it hurtled the space age. Every once in a while, the Blue Angels would race by in formation. At an early age, his eyes drawn to the sky. At 8, he moved a few miles south and attended school in the bucolic horse town of Los Gatos, where he demonstrated leadership qualities at an early age. Since his youth, he wanted to be an astronaut, so he performed a statistical analysis of the aeronautic corps and determined that the majority of them had been naval aviators. He enrolled at the University of Colorado Boulder in their ROTC program. Though things didn't work out for him at the university in the ROTC, he continued to pursue his interests in aerospace and eventually found a home at Boeing where he advanced his career in rocketry. Victor has been at Boeing for 12 years and a member of NMA for 7 years. He serves as BALC's webmaster since 2004 and is responsible for the award-winning innovations such as their database-driven calendar, web photo album, an online secret balloting system for the election of officers. And with a team including Dr. Pete Kersal, developer Gordon Knoll, and dozens of contributors from NMA, Dale Carnegie, Boeing, the Leadership Evaluation and Development System. Most of you probably do not know that Victor is also a published author who started writing as a teen and now has 10 books under his belt. He's also had the pleasure of meeting and corresponding with many of his idols, including Robert A. Heinlein, Forrest J. Ackerman, and Ray Bradbury. Three of his novels won the Prometheus Award for Best Novel of the Year. His wife, Veronica, is also a writer working on her first book, and his daughter, Vanessa, who's with us tonight, is an actress with a 10-film resume, as well as stage, TV, and voiceover. He's very proud of both of them and grateful for their support of his marginally sane work ethic, which fits well in his position at Boeing as a web application developer. He volunteers his time at BALC on weekends, as many members do, and still takes time to write, exercise, and fulfill his dream of being a theremin performer in a commando code tribute band. Ladies and gentlemen, the NMA Member of the Year, Victor Koman. Your accomplishments are truly remarkable. It gives us enormous pride in our association that we honor you this evening. On behalf of NMA's Board of Directors and all of its members nationwide, it gives me great pleasure to present this award to you. In addition, I want to present you a check for $500 in honor of your selection for 2009 recipient. Thank you.
First, I'm going to my position as a Member of the Year and say that all of you who I was too shy to walk up to and ask for pins, I've got a whole bunch of DALC pins at my seat, and any time after the talk, if you want to come and trade a pin with me and overcome my shyness, I'll really appreciate that. Anyway, thank you, Phil. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you, NMA members. Thank you to everyone at the Boeing Aerospace Leadership Chapter, the Southern California Area Council, and the NMA National Organization who nominated and selected me for this amazing honor. I'm really very grateful. Thank you. It all began at a small 5,000 watt radio station in Fresno, California. Oh, no, that's Ted Baxter's sorry. When I was growing up, I never thought that I would join a leadership organization. As Phil mentioned, I wanted to be an astronaut. And then retire to write my memoirs in a split-level pressure dome on the moon, preferably overlooking Tranquility Base. Paradoxically, I also became obsessed with the dark secrets of magic, like a young Harry Potter. Okay, more like a young Carl Valentine. By my teen years, I walked the fine line between ultra cool and uber nerd. I thought astronaut and writer were fairly individualistic careers, exploring alone on the lunar plains or sitting in seclusion before a typewriter. At the time, I only had a dim awareness of the hundreds of thousands of people that it took to put 1, 2, or 3 people into space. And even when the astronaut thing fell through, and I began to write and sell novels, I discovered that it takes hundreds of people to bring a book to the public. Editors, typesetters, proofreaders, cover designers, marketers, printers, packers, shippers, store owners, reviewers, and of course, readers. And let's face it, even magicians need bunnies, whether they be the cute, cuddly kind or rabbits. Working at the Boeing Company demonstrated to this loner the importance of teamwork and leadership in accomplishing goals big and small. And I use the term loner in a good way, individualistic, self-motivating, not living for the approval of others, and not in a bad way, you know. We always knew he'd snap. He was a loner, and his apartment was full of old newspapers and half-empty Spam cans. Because I'd only ever really led myself, I needed training in leadership, and I knew the NMA offered that as part of their mission. I always welcomed the opportunity to meet and work with some of the nicest, most generous, and motivated people I'd ever met. I learned about teamwork. I learned about leadership. And I even learned about parliamentary procedure. Writing software and writing novels share many similarities. Both require long periods of solitary, quiet work. It's a great change of pace to break out of that on a regular basis and challenge oneself to work with others toward a larger goal. As the poet John Donne said, "No man is an island, entire unto himself." But King Henry comes pretty close to being his own continent, am I right? Oh, John Donne, you 17th century gossip girl. I think I can sum up what I've learned about leadership with a quote from a book I'm sure you all have read. It's one of those books that becomes a bestseller because it takes timeless truths from all the previous bestsellers and slaps on a new metaphor to make it seem original. I'm speaking, of course, about the classic business theory book, Who Moved My Rich Dad? As you all know, the book tells the tale of little Spencer Roberts, who has 2 dads. His own poor dad, whom he calls, to avoid copyright infringement, his penurious pop, and an old stranger he met on the docks who dressed like Captain Crunch and claimed to own Marina Del Rey. Spence called him his pecunious pop. While he learns about life and money and how to trade credit default swaps, something is happening beneath the floorboards of his penurious pop's fifth floor walk-up. Two mice named, to avoid copyright infringement, Snuffy and Scruff, run into two very tiny little men named Dodge and Weave. They're all looking for Limburger cheese. Smells like feet, tastes like heaven. After many adventures searching for the missing Limburger, they find, for reasons of copyright, several scratchings on the sideboards, which I would like to share with you in closing. Now remember that in the book, cheese is but a metaphor. It's actually meant to refer to any dairy product. And finally, if you found that book inspirational, you'll probably fondly remember these other great books. The 1 Minute Employee. I'm sure we've all run into a few of those, right? The Automatic Popper. Much easier to do these days. Just invest with Madoff. And what is probably going to throw me totally into uber nerddom, these 7 hobbits of highly successful paladins. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for this great honor. I really don't know what I did to deserve it, but I thank you all for giving this to me. I hope to live up to it in the coming year ahead. And now, laissez le bon temps rouler.